The mongoose moves with astonishing confidence. Without the slightest hesitation, it climbs onto the face of a fully grown warthog. Tiny paws press against coarse skin as it steps over the animal's closed eyelids, slips between its curved tusks, and disappears into the folds around its ears. The warthog could end the encounter in a single bite. Instead, it remains perfectly still. For a moment, one of Africa's toughest wild pigs willingly allows a creature barely a fraction of its size to explore the most vulnerable parts of its body. Why? The answer has little to do with friendship. Hidden inside the wrinkles of the warthog's skin is an enemy so small that most predators never notice it. Yet over time, these tiny parasites can drain blood, spread disease, and leave even large mammals exhausted. To the mongoose, however, those parasites are food. Every day, a warthog travels through tall grass, thorny shrubs, and muddy wallows in search of roots, bulbs, insects, and fallen fruit. But with every step, another passenger climbs aboard. Ticks wait patiently on blades of grass until a warm-bodied animal brushes past. Once attached, they crawl toward places where the skin is thinner and blood vessels lie close to the surface. Around the ears, along the eyelids, inside the folds of the neck, even beneath the jaw. These hidden corners provide warmth, protection, and an easy supply of blood. One tick is little more than an irritation. Dozens can become a constant burden. As they feed, they swell with blood, growing many times their original size while remaining firmly attached to the skin. Besides the irritation they cause, some tick species are also capable of transmitting pathogens that may affect the health of wild mammals. The warthog tries to cope. It rubs against tree trunks. It rolls in mud. It scratches with its hind legs whenever it can. But there is one problem. Its own face is almost impossible to reach. The areas around the eyes and ears remain some of the safest hiding places for blood-feeding parasites. And that's exactly where another hunter begins its search. The newcomer is the mongoose. Known for its sharp senses and relentless curiosity, the mongoose spends much of its day searching for insects, small reptiles, eggs, and anything else rich in protein. Nothing escapes its attention, not even a tiny tick buried beneath coarse hair. As the mongoose approaches, the warthog doesn't panic. It has seen this visitor before. The little hunter climbs onto its shoulder, pauses for a moment, then slowly makes its way toward the head. Every movement is careful. Every sniff is deliberate. To the mongoose, this isn't the face of a dangerous animal. It's a living buffet. One by one, it searches through the folds of skin where ticks are most likely to hide. Some are still flat against the skin. Others have already swollen after feeding on the warthog's blood. With quick, precise bites, the mongoose removes them. Each parasite becomes another mouthful of food. For the warthog, every tick removed means one less blood-feeding parasite clinging to its body. The relief from irritation can be immediate, especially around sensitive areas such as the ears and eyelids. What looks like remarkable trust is better understood as tolerance. The warthog isn't inviting the mongoose out of kindness. It is allowing behavior that may provide a benefit while posing little immediate threat. In nature, that can be reason enough. Relationships like this are often described as mutualistic, when both species gain an advantage. The mongoose finds an easy meal without digging through grass or chasing prey. The warthog may reduce the number of parasites in places it struggles to clean on its own. However, wildlife researchers also note that such interactions can vary from one habitat to another. Not every warthog is regularly visited by mongooses, and mongooses rely on many different food sources throughout the day. This is an opportunity, not a lifelong partnership. Once the most accessible ticks are gone, the mongoose moves on. It may spend the next hour hunting beetles beneath fallen logs, raiding a termite mound, or searching for a lizard hidden beneath a rock. The warthog does exactly the same. It lowers its head once more and continues grazing across the savannah, unaware that dozens of tiny parasites are no longer feeding on its skin. Neither animal follows the other. Neither waits for the next meeting. Yet whenever their paths cross under the right conditions, both stand to gain from a brief exchange that lasts only a few minutes. It is a quiet reminder that survival in Africa is rarely achieved through strength alone. The largest animals often depend on creatures so small they are easily overlooked. Sometimes that helper is a bird. Sometimes it is an insect. And sometimes it is a fearless mongoose willing to walk across the face of an animal many times its own size in search of a meal almost no one else can see. On the African savannah, survival is not always about fighting harder. Sometimes, it begins with allowing the right neighbor to get a little closer,